Hello, good people of YouTube. Mountbatten here, and today we have your normally scheduled weekly replay video. Yeah, we're back on our normally scheduled, schedule now, thanks to, being a few weeks from the release of the patch, and a lot of things have calmed down with, of course, the trade-in event being the only big thing happening this week, but we already talked about that, so we have time for your normal replay video. As always, this is a live reaction replay, so I am sitting down right next to you, over your shoulder, in your walls, behind your toilet, with you as you watch this. So we're watching it together and reacting to whatever it is that happens, well, together. I have not seen this replay yet, so you guys get my genuine live reactions to whatever it is that occurs. So we have the Tier 10 Pan-Asian Destroyer, the Lushun, in this replay for your viewing pleasure. The Lushun is a pretty good destroyer. I have fond memories of playing her when she came out. She gets the Pan-Asian deep water torpedoes, but she also has a pretty nice set of guns as well. She's the, and I should look this up before I sat down to watch this video. The Soviet destroyer, the Nushashimi, I think that's what it is. She is that, but Pan-Asian, which the Nushashimi is already a pretty good destroyer. She gets the super heal, and she gets a set of guns and torpedoes that you can build into both or either, and she's pretty decent at that. That's why I really like the Nushashimi. But here, the Nushashimi gets deep water torpedoes, a set of the heavy repair party. I believe that's what they call it now, right? It's a super heal, but yeah, heavy repair teams. It's a super heal, but it takes a long time for the health to be restored to your ship. So it's like a run away and heal versus the super heal that like the Nushimi and others get. That you can kind of brute force your way through the damage. But anyway, this is, just make sure I remembered his name correctly, Tip, playing the Lushun, doing a very wise thing here. It looks like he is backing up into the cap. You do that instead of just, going bow in, so that when things go sideways, you can just throttle up and get out of there much faster. Your ship accelerates much faster going forward than it does going backwards. So like here, he's been radared, he can now just throttle up and get out of there, although he does have this island cover right here. So as long as he's behind this island, he should be fine with regards to shots coming from the the water right in front of him. Of course, if you look at the mini-map, across from him there is another gap there that he could be shot from, but looks like that's not happening here, and he's just going to get to cap this cap and, chill out. So, of course, destroyers are so very important to your team's success. The fact that he's being very wise and careful about what he's doing is a good sign for his team this round. Because by now, and I'm sure we'll see it here in a second, normally a destroyer or two gets murdered this early on. So he does give his team the early cap advantage. This is a straight tier 10 game, by the way. No super ships, no tier 9s, no tier 8s. So, bit of a rarity here, just a flat tier 10 game. There's that radar again. Popped his Hydra to see what's out there. And sure enough, there is a Des Moines, and there is a Republic coming in to the B cap. Well, looks like the Des Moines has actually pumped the brakes, and he's stopped on the island just before the B cap. But this Republic, on the other hand, he's looking a little frisky here. He's going full tilt into the cap in the first 3 minutes of the match. That's a decision. Alright, is he going to slow down any at all? Okay, yeah, looks like he turned a little bit. No, he's got a speed boost on, so perhaps he's playing with his throttle a little bit there. There go the deep water torpedoes. Gets one gun going to try and bait the Republic into opening up wide. The Republic does not take the bait, stays bow in to Tip here. Now, like I said, Lushun, pretty good guns, pretty good torpedoes. And Tip is making use of both of them here. So these torpedoes are going to prevent the Republic from pushing up anymore. And look at that beautiful angle there. You can just get his shells up over that island into the superstructure of the Republic. He's going to get a nice little damage farm out of that. Especially the setting of fires, he's got like, 70, 80 shells on target so far. Not a single fire yet. Next round, torpedoes does unfortunately miss. The Republic did throw it into reverse. Sit rep. Other caps not going as well as the B cap, unfortunately. The enemy team has secured the C and the A cap, and they just sunk the friendly Minotaur. that was trying to hold down the C cap for the friendly team, but nope, not so much anymore. Ooh, Des Moines. Yeah, see, Des Moines do very scary things to destroyers, so it's reasonable that he's wanting to depart from this now. And unfortunately, he has no support here backing him up, so he's trying to hang on to this camp, this cap by himself. But as you can see, everyone else is fairly off of the caps, and well, they're just content to sit around the DE line rather than get in there and get in the caps. Whereas the enemy team's in the caps, capturing the caps. Our Republic has pulled forward now, and now the Schlieffen has paid attention to the Republic because the Republic has just murdered him. Oh, this is great. Cruiser and battleship down within the first 5 minutes of the game. Oof. Okay, so the friendly Des Moines did manage to take out the enemy gearing, so that is an improvement. Unfortunately, Tip is back in radar from the Des Moines, and you get the GK secondaries on him. The Republic's about to be able to open up on him here in a sec. He's trying to ride out that radar. He's keeping that Des Moines between the island, and ooh, gets grazed by the Republic shells. Alright, so that GK has paid attention to him. Thankfully, of course, he does have the heavy repair teams to help him out here. If things do go sideways, which was he isn't popping his heal just yet, because if he pops it now, in fact, he's wasting most of that heal. Alright, so Republic is now caught out in the open a little bit. Well, he's pushed forward enough to where everyone who's camping at the back of the map can now shoot at him. So now Tip has some assistance with trying to deal with the Republic. So he's opening back up on him again. Again, this is a tactic to try and get, well, one, not only damage off the Republic, but he's trying to get that Republic to, get that rear turret around, to turn broadside into his torpedoes. But yet again, the Republic's not falling for it. He might get clipped with one or two. Obviously, if he would turn and get that rear turret in, he would eat more of them. Enemy Lushun takes out the Shimakaze. He does pop his heavy repair teams out. He's going to get hit one torp. Nope, misses. So as you can see, his heals is healing him, but it's taking him quite a minute to do so. So again, like with the Nutrishimi, the Minotaur, the Conqueror, they're super heals that pretty much reprint the ship in a few seconds. Not the case here. So unfortunately, the enemy team now has all the caps, and oof, GK takes out the friendly Kleber. The Shimakaze does torpedo the enemy Lushun. So, unfortunately, things are not going very well for the friendly side. They're being sunk at a much faster rate than the enemy team. But this Republic is about to go down here thanks to Tip and this Hindenburg getting shots in on it. So once this goes down, the kills will be kind of even. But again, those three caps being in the red team's hands is not any good. The points gain that they are getting right now is quite hefty. Look, they're already 400 points-ish ahead of the friendly side. This can be a huge deficit that they're going to have to overcome if they want a chance at winning this match. Fortunately, down in the west, though, looks like the friendly side has decided to push up a bit. Conqueror is currently fighting a Salem at knife fighting range. There we go. The Republic is down. Oh, hello, Des Moines. This is awkward. And the Colombo takes out the Salem out in the west. Alright, so starting to catch up on the kills now. And the Des Moines is... Who's he going after? Oh, he's going after the low health Cerberus. So he's ignoring Tip for now. And the Z-42 takes out the Cerberus. It's just like when the friendly side starts to get back a little bit, they lose somebody. Alright. So, out west, the Colombo's getting into the A cap. So it looks like the enemy team out west has been dealt with. But there is quite a lot of firepower over here in the east. Where, as you can see, most of the friendly side has been dealt with. Des Moines has gone dark. So now Tip is just trying to find... There he is. Trying to find him in... Is he in smoke? Or is he just dark? No, he's just dark. Okay. So again, Tip's firing, trying to get that Des Moines to get all of his guns on him, so he'll sell them to his torps. Of course, we don't know where the Des Moines is right now, but it'd be really funny if he would just explode from these torps here in a sec. Oh, there we go. So he hit him with one. They are deep water torpedoes, so they do quite a hefty bit of damage. And the Des Moines, he's flooding, and it looks like it's going to be a perma-flood. Still, 338 hits in. Not a single fire so far. Does he have IFHE? Oh, Conqueror took out the Bungo. That's no good. 22 no, so does not have IFHE on. He doesn't. He's not got a single fire yet. With at this point coming up on 400 shell hits. RNG just hates this man apparently. All right, so he decides he's just gonna have to whittle him down bit by bit. So keep in mind too, you know, all these HE shells hitting. There we go, a single fire, almost 400 shells in. All these HE shells hitting the ship, hitting these ships. Most of them aren't pinning because you can only pin 22 millimeters of armor. So yeah, he's just having to whittle them down bit by bit with their superstructure. There's the fire, another fire there. All right. So now finally he's starting to get some real fires. Now, of course, Des Moines is super scared because he has that radar. But fortunately, the Hindenburg is also getting some shots in on him, too. There was, I think, the Shikishima, no, the Slava. Got some good hits in on the Des Moines there. So up to AP now that Des Moines is giving him broadside. Lushun does get the Soviet AP. Unfortunately, you can only get the rear turret off right now. But you can see how much more damage those AP shells are doing versus the HE shells. Because they were actually pinning the Des Moines. Backs up a little bit, getting those shells into the upper belt, getting some good damage there, and there we go. His second kill of the match. Alright, kills are even now. Both teams have sunk the same amount of ships as the other, but yet again, the enemy side still has 2 caps, and they are quickly approaching a 500-point lead over the friendly side. So you got the Sevastopol and the Kurfürst in the middle. Oh, there's the Petropavlovsk. So we don't know where the Conqueror, the Shikishima, or the Z-42 are at this moment. Now, the green team has managed to, the guys in the west at least, have managed to make their way back over here. But still, even if they sink most of these ships, they have to sink all of these ships at this point, or get the caps back. Which, of course, only the red team's going to just let them waltz in there and do it. Alright, red GK is down, though. Sevastopol, who also has heavy repair teams, is now stuck in between a Slava, a Colombo, and a Lushun. There's a Z-42 spotted for just a second by Tip. Man, again, this fire chance is wild. Good God, he's been shooting this guy for, what, 50, 60 shells now? Not a single fire. Woo-wee. See, this is why I kind of build into IFHE more often than not, because, you know, if you can get these guns over 32, which I don't think you can if you take IFHE, you know, at least you'll be doing consistent pin damage, because you'll be pinning their bow, their stern, their deck armor in some cases, rather than just having to depend upon superstructure. Petra takes out the Colombo, but the Colombo also takes out the Petra, so that's a bit of a fair trade there. Slava's going in on the Sevastopol and gets blamped by the Sevastopol. Soviet Bias takes out Soviet Bias. Alright, Tip dumps some torpedoes in the general direction of the Sevastopol, whose heals are not off of cooldown yet. I'm assuming he definitely would have used them by now. It looks like he might get the kill here if he can get those shells back into the superstructure. But there he goes, another fire, and that is it. His third kill of the match. Alright, 4 versus 3 now. 2 enemy battleships, a Conqueror and a Shikishima, both fairly healthy, against a friendly Conqueror, a Des Moines, a Hindenburg, and a Lushun. Alright, the Des Moines is getting into the B cap. Not sure how wise that is with the Shikishima, for sure, licking his lips, looking at that Des Moines. Des Moines explode fantastically well if you have larger caliber guns. So Hindenburg's also turned back around. He's turning into the fight now. So the problem here is, as you'll see here, the enemy team is literally 470 points ahead of the enemy team with 5 minutes left on the clock. Now, granted, if they manage to take this B cap, hold it, and survive, and not lose anybody else, they could win on points. But the issue is, of course, as Murphy's Law states, it probably isn't going to happen just that way. And there's still an enemy Conqueror out there that, as I'm sure most of you are well aware of, can simply decide to not die with the push of a button. Granted, the friendly side does have a Conqueror too. Looks like he's being double-teamed by the enemy Conqueror and the... Yep, he's dead. And now they have, oh man, a 500-point lead just about at this point. 937 to 382. That is definitely, we can win on one cap in 4-minute territory. Ooh, they gotta sink some. They gotta sink something fast because that C cap is still ticking up. Oh, although now Kip and the friendly Hindenburg are about to get into the C cap. Okay, so now the points gain is no longer occurring for the enemy team, but they are still 540 points ahead of the red team with 4 minutes. I don't know about this one. That's a lot to sink in 4 minutes and change, especially a Conqueror. Ooh, man, if he has like a heal or two left, he really doesn't care about the damage that Des Moines, Hindenburg, and a Lushun can give him. Unless, of course, he does sell into these torps, which would be fantastic, but it looks like he's turning out of them at the moment. You still have a red Z42 who's probably selling to the J10 or the J1 square at this moment, and that's Shikishima. Who, if I was Shikishima, I'd just be dipping out. Alright, Conqueror. The farming has begun on the Conqueror. AP from the Des Moines. Got some HE from the Hindenburg. Now keep in mind too, Conqueror literally does not care about fire damage because 100% of fire damage is recoverable with your heal. So all this fire damage is occurring to him right now, he does not care. Now, thankfully, it looks like the Hindenburg, who has very good AP, and the Des Moines are both dogpiling him with his AP. And looks like, oh, he must not have any heals left. Oh my god, this is the fastest I've seen a Conqueror get melted before. And there we go. Kill number 4 for Tip. Okay, the enemy team is now only 300 points in the lead. With 3 minutes left on the clock. Again, this is not looking good. Now, if nobody dies on the friendly side, they might win on points. I don't know. I don't have the mod that tells you that. But as you can see, they are gaining quite rapidly, and the replay point system isn't reversed for once yet. Again, I guess they might have fixed that here recently. But that Shikishima and that Z42 have probably headed for the hills. So this might be a valiant effort for victory here. However, we have seen the enemy team make incredibly awful decisions, or incredibly bad decisions beforehand. Well, I've seen the friendly team make incredibly bad decisions beforehand too. So this does look like a red victory right now. They got 2 minutes and change left. That's not enough time to get 190 points on the clock. Up, and there we go. The Z42 is in the A cap flipping that back. That's what I was waiting for. So Z42 is playing smart. He's going to go grab the A cap, flip it, and then that should give them enough points to comfortably win at this moment. Now, the Shikishima, is pushing into the B cap. This is a decision. Now, that Des Moines is probably crapping his pants, because the Shikishima can pretty much one-tap him with those 20-inch guns, because he doesn't care about the Des Moines armor whatsoever. Alright, Tip's putting his torps in the water. There's the Z42 smoke. He smoked up. The Des Moines is spotted. Here comes a Shimakaze. Is he going to open up on him? The Des Moines Des Moines should definitely be loading AP at this moment. Where's the Hindenburg? Hindenburg is going around the island, probably hoping to catch the side of the Shikishima. Alright, so Tip has opened up. The Shikishima is focused solely on that Des Moines, understandably so. And let's see. Shots out. Dead Des Moines? Dead Des Moines. Dang. Shikishima might pay for it here. He gets behind the island, though. And now the red side's back up to winning here very shortly. 44 seconds left on the clock. All they have to do is not die, and they win. And you got to kill a Shikishima and a Z42 in 40 seconds. This, I don't know. Alright, so Shikishima's pushing up for some reason. Look at that Soviet AP going to work on that Shikishima. Gets in the B cap. I guess he felt like he had to contest the cap. But there we go, cracking. Z42, what are you doing? What are you doing? Oh, that username. That username. What are you doing? You had this. You had this double strike for the win. Dude, he had the game. He just had to leave the Shikishima it is one thing because he's stuck on the island, whatever. He's probably feeling like he's going to get pushed by Tip. Hi, Blue. I know I'm yelling. Sorry, Blue's the little puppy dog I have now. He didn't like that I was yelling there for a second. The Shikishima, like, okay, I can see him thinking, this Lucian's going to come around the island and torp rush me. Rather than sit here and die, I'm going to try and go into the cap and, maybe surprise him, maybe let my secondaries kill him, something like that. Or at least contest the cap for a few seconds, ensuring the win. Maybe. But the Z42 with triple digit HP deciding to push and jump the Lucian? What? Like, he knew where he was. Tip had just killed his Shikishima, just sunk him. He knew exactly where Tip's Lucian is at. But no. He just says, you know what? I'm going to try and fight a destroyer with a super heal when I have triple HP left. What a throw. I was just saying it, an incredibly bad decision from the Z42. I don't know. And you know what? The name didn't work. Tip very much did shoot you, buddy. So what an incredible throw. That is insane. Why, buddy? Always when they aren't in my game, the enemy team makes incredibly dumb decisions, it seems. Always determine how's the saying go? Always expect, the impossible to happen, which it seemed like it was impossible for them to win there, and sure enough, just wow. What a genius. What a tactical genius maneuver there. But yeah, guys, if you have a replay like this with some incredibly bad decision making, please feel free to send it into the email linked in the description down below, or you can submit it in the community Discord via the replay channel. Link to that is also in the description down below as well. Thank you, Tip, for sending this in to the channel. I very much appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoy. Have a wonderful Thursday, wonderful rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.